On February 28, 2026, the tankers stopped moving. Through a channel just 21 miles wide, a fifth of all the oil on Earth suddenly had nowhere to go. Within weeks, crude crossed $120 a barrel, and for more than 100 days, the most important strait in the world stayed dark. So the Gulf is now doing the only thing it can. It is spending a fortune, pipelines, ports, whole railways, to make this strait useless. More than $100 billion to route the world's oil around 21 miles of water. There is just one problem. The math doesn't work, and by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why. Here's the reframe this whole video rests on in one sentence. A choke point isn't really about geography. It's a single point of failure that the entire global economy is wired through. And the thing about a single point of failure is that you can spend almost anything to escape it, and still not escape it. Because you can build a pipeline, you can dig a port. You cannot, on any budget, move an ocean. So that's the question we're going to test against the numbers. Can $100 billion actually free the Gulf from a strip of sea 21 miles wide? First, why this one strait holds the entire world by the throat. Around 20 million barrels of oil cross the Strait of Hormuz every single day. That's about 1 in every 5 barrels the world burns, about a quarter of all the oil that ever travels by sea. Roughly a fifth of the world's natural gas goes through it too. Saudi Arabia alone sends about 5.5 million barrels a day through it, 38% of the strait's crude. And when it closed, the price proved the stakes. Crude leapt from the mid-70s to over $120. This is the most valuable 21 miles on the planet. So here's the thesis. There are exactly 2 ways to get Gulf oil to the sea without touching Hormuz, and both already exist. To the west, Saudi Arabia's east-west pipeline, the Petra Line, carries crude clear across the country to the Red Sea. To the east, the UAE pipes oil to Fujairah, a port that sits just outside the strait on the open ocean. And here is the entire problem in one chart. Add up every spare barrel those bypass pipelines can take in a crisis, and you get about 2.6 million barrels a day, against 20 million flowing through Hormuz. The escape hatch fits about 1 barrel in 8. That's the reframe in a line. The bypass isn't a door, it's a keyhole.
Now let's actually score the plan,
Route by route, because each one runs into the same wall. Saudi Arabia's Petra Line is the big one. Normally, it moves about 5 million barrels a day. During the war, the Saudis pushed it to a record 7 million. Impressive, until you remember most of that capacity was already carrying oil before the crisis. The spare is what counts. The UAE's line to Fujairah adds up to about 1.8 million more, and Abu Dhabi is racing to build a second pipeline that would roughly double that by 2027. Iraq has lines too, but they're stuck. Its pipeline to Turkey is reopening at just 250,000 barrels a day. Stack every one of those spare barrels together today, and you're back to that same number, about 2.6 million a day. Even maxed out, even with everything under construction, the pipelines move a fraction of what the strait does. You can't outbuild an ocean fast enough. Now here's the part the doom videos leave out because it cuts both ways. The optimistic read is real. The Gulf genuinely is building. The UAE doubling Fujairah, a $250 billion Gulf railway, new ports, even an overland corridor toward Europe. Give it a decade, and the bypass keyhole really does widen. But here's the colder truth, and it's the one that breaks the whole plan. Suppose you do route the oil west to the Red Sea. To actually reach a customer, that oil now has to pass through the el-mandeb Strait or the Suez Canal. You didn't escape the choke point, you just drove to a different one. Close both at once, and you choke nearly a third of the world's container shipping and a fifth of its oil, all over again. So the honest finding isn't no way out, it's that there is no complete way out. The geography always wins a piece of it back. So step back. Why does this matter beyond one war, one strait? Because it quietly tells you something permanent about power. $100 billion, more than the annual output of entire countries, buys the Gulf insurance. It does not buy escape. For a few states, on a few routes, it shaves the risk. But for the system as a whole, the 21-mile choke point is still there, still decisive, still one bad week away from sending the price of everything you own upward. The lesson geoeconomics keeps teaching is the one the map just showed you. In energy, geography is destiny, and destiny is not for sale. Which brings us back to February 28th. The good news, the strait reopened. In June, a deal put the tankers back in the water. But nothing underneath it changed. The same 20 million barrels a day still thread the same 21 miles. The $100 billion plan is still a keyhole. And the next time someone decides to close that door, the world will reach again for an escape route that was never quite big enough. You can build a pipeline. You can't move an ocean. If you want the economics behind the map, not the noise, subscribe. We follow the money through the choke points.